the order right there?
Yeah, amazing, perfect.
Perfect, good highlights. All right.
I never change anything.
And so you'll come back tomorrow then?
Of course, I'll be here.
Okay, fantastic. So with that promise, then let's get back to our top story of the day. The Los Angeles Lakers. They've been taking it slow with Luka Doncic this preseason. They're managing his workload after a long summer with Slovenia. Tonight, though, Luka Doncic is expected to hit the floor for the first time this preseason against Phoenix. And our Dave McMenamin is there ahead of tonight's matchup. So, Dave, how are the Lakers approaching the remainder of this preseason for Luka?
Yeah, Malika, we're finally going to get to see Luka Doncic in a Lakers uniform tonight, but his minutes will be limited, and the plan is to play him in one more preseason game. It stands to reason if he hasn't played up to this point, he's not going to play tomorrow night in the second night of a back-to-back against his former team, the Dallas Mavericks. The Lakers have a home preseason game against the Sacramento Kings on Friday. Expect to see Luka then. Also tonight, there's going to be no Gabe Vincent, no Jackson Hayes, no Jared Vanderbilt. The Lakers are really looking to manage this final week in terms of trying to put the team in the best position to be ready a week from tonight on opening night against the Golden State Warriors. So some lineup experimentation. You will see Marcus Smart making his preseason debut tonight with the Lakers. He's going to be in the 20 to 25 minute range. And again, still very much a work in progress for this group as they try to get their best product on the court opening night against the Warriors.
Hey, Dave, remember me? Your boy Perk. I want to ask you, look, have you talked to JJ? Because DeAndre Ayton is obviously playing, you know what I'm saying? What's his scheme of things as far as with him and Luka Doncic? Pick and roll, we're going to see a lot of action out of that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, certainly you saw Ayton in the third preseason game over the weekend getting a lot of more opportunities in the short roll, in the pocket. He had 5 assists. He went 6 for 8 from the field. Many of those shot opportunities were coming, and the lights just went out on me, were coming right from that mid-range in the post. So honestly, we're going to see more of Ayton, and we got to see what he can do with the lob game with Luka Doncic attached to him.
Perk, you just taking my job now?
I just had to holler at my boy Dave.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate the time. Thank you so much. Boban, you and Luka were teammates. I just wasn't expecting that. That tickled me, Perk. I love it. Please host tomorrow. What are your expectations, though? We know Perk wants to see the connection that he just asked Dave about. What are your expectations for Luka this season?
I think expectation is really high, to be honest. And I know every big guy who play with Luka, he get paid after that for sure. And he play good, and like he's the guy who can help him to score, and of course he helped me a lot. That's why in this highlights I'm good.
Will you be, Perk, Dave said that, I mean, obviously now we get to see these highlights, which is just like, this is heartwarming. This is something we want to see. Look at this.
Can they put like some sad music?
Yeah, maybe some hearts all around.
Some hearts all over.
The friendships that you've had. I mean, the one, Bobby and Toby, also one of our favorites here. I hate to turn from that to any sort of disappointment because that was so heartwarming, Perk. But Dave just said that we may not see Luka tomorrow because we're seeing him tonight, not playing on the second night of that back-to-back. Are you disappointed if you don't see him in the preseason against the Mavs?
No, not really. But I'm going to be disappointed if I don't see some lobs to DeAndre Ayton today because Dave did just say, you know, in game 3 for DeAndre Ayton in his preseason, he was great in the short roll. Well, Luka doesn't need him to be a short roller today. He needs him to be a dynamic roller. Excuse me.
For the last couple of years, we've been waiting for Luka to basically win the MVP.
Yeah.
This is a guy who we thought was going to be an MVP. Last year, he was injured. He was dealing with that injury for most of the season, and he got traded in the middle of it. This year, he is in excellent condition, and because LeBron's injury, he is going to start with the keys, with the expectation that he delivers on a major way. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be MVP, but I would like to see Luka back in the conversation for the MVP. And if he is, the Lakers are going to be able to do something this season. But there is no reason why he shouldn't be very dynamic for this team. It is now being constructed around him. LeBron is out. Even if when LeBron comes back, they're going to need him. Let's see Luka have a MVP level season. It is all set up for him.
You played with him. Is this the best, most athletic version of Luka that you've seen?
For me, he always was athletic. Just depends how tired he is. You know, like sometimes he's tired, sometimes he's less tired, but you know, like he play every game. He have the ball like 40 minutes, and it's all offense on him. what is like really like good, but he for sure is best shape right now. He look great.
Does Luka listen to the outside noise, the media, the critics, a guy like myself that has criticized him in the past and used that as motivation?
Maybe sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes when he feel down, he listens, but mostly he's focused on himself.
Park, everyone listens to you.
I was just asking.
Everyone listens to you. But I appreciate that you self-identified there as a hater. So, Boban, first show in the books.
For sure in the book.
Yeah.
Check.
Check. Does that mean we get you back for the rest of the week?
Yes, I do.
All right. That means
Did
we
a
get
great
Boban
job.
back for the rest of the week.
Zero basket.
Yep.
There's no reason to believe, especially with LeBron out, that Luka isn't getting off to a great offensive start to the season. And by the way, Austin Reeves has looked really good in the preseason so far. And when Austin Reeves played with Luka last year, a lot without LeBron, which happened a handful of times, he was very prolific. So I actually think the Lakers can survive this stretch. You have Luka and Austin Reeves leading the scoring. It will allow them to play two defenders in Jared Vanderbilt and Marcus Smart, who's also going to make his Laker debut tonight.
You know, my grandpa always used to tell me, you know what I'm saying, well, put that in your pipe and smoke it, right? Well, the tobacco is there for Luka. Is he going to put it in his pipe? Is he going to smoke it? Why do I say that? Is because not only was LeBron monitoring the Lakers this offseason, Luka was doing the same, right, Wendy? You talked about how is he going to sign the contract extension. The Lakers went out and made moves. Luka helped recruited two guys, Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
I'm starting tonight. I want to see the chemistry between Luka and DeAndre Ayton. We know that he loves a live threat at the basket. They didn't have that consistently last year, and now you go out, you get a young guy in DeAndre Ayton who's just touching the surface of his prime, and now let's see how that match, how it's going to look together with him and Luka.
Yeah, watching the early fruits of that partnership is certainly something that's going to be interesting. You have a unique take on this, Boban, because you played with Luka Doncic.
Yes, I play with Luka Doncic and he's beast. Not because he's my friend, I think he's really beast. I know I watched him this summer on Europe Championship and how he play. Okay, full respect to all Slovenian players, but without him, like they will not be what they be, and they have a great game and they almost win Europe Championship Germany.
Boban, imagine if he had played for Serbia, as he could have. Boban played for Team Serbia. Imagine if Luka played for Serbia.
We will be unstoppable. Jokic and him together, and Jokic become like lob threat too.
Well, that's what that unstoppable, that beast nature is what the Lakers are hoping that they're going to get out of Luka starting tonight.
Yeah, so Luka's in an interesting spot here. So the Lakers obviously have made some additions, as Perk mentioned this year with DeAndre Ayton, to try to make this year special. But they're sort of in the interim here because when you look at their roster, 8 of their players are free agents after this year. Luka signed his extension long term. As the Lakers try to figure out who their future is around Luka, I'm not so sure if any of these guys, probably Austin Reeves would be my number one. Even LeBron, I don't know where he's going to be next year. So part of this season, while the Lakers try to maximize what they've got, is who amongst these guys are core players alongside Luka for the medium haul?
But it might not be none of these guys, to be honest, and that's on Luka, right? You want to be eye candy. You want guys to want to come join and play alongside Luka Doncic, like guys wanted to play with a Steph or a LeBron or, you know. And so at the end of the day, again, this is his team. You want to make sure that you still have, you know, the mindset, the focus, the discipline to say that, hey, I want to go over there and play with Luka. So again, it's a test season for them. I get that part, but again, it's a test around the league because all eyes are going to be on Luka Doncic.
Including LeBron James, right? Dave McMenamin has talked on this show before about how LeBron early in the season is going to be watching the way that this Lakers group looks. We know that the Lakers outscored opponents by 152 points when Luka was on and LeBron was off last year. That's what they are trying to build on, that team that finished third in the Western Conference. We did have some great action, though, on the court last night. Brian, I know you're not crazy about the preseason, but you got to be crazy about this. Victor put up his biggest game that we have seen thus far. The Spurs in Indy last night. This is how this one went down. Early in the first quarter, the Spurs on the fast break with Wemby leading the break. What?
This is what he can do. I mean, in all honesty, he probably should dribble a little bit less, but he's really good with the ball.
He's not listening to you here. Gets the steal, runs the floor, lobs it to Stephon Castle. Perk, we're used to seeing him catch the lob.
I know, but look, that's the beauty of having a guy that's 7'3", 7'5". Oh! KD and Shaq combined right there. God bless him there.
A little later in the quarter, Wemby hits the step back
crazy.
three.
This package of highlights is crazy.
Exactly. 10 now for Wemby. He's made his first 6 shots for anyone who is counting here. Harrison Barnes at the free throw line. Wemby just effortless putback.
Easy.
You could do that, right?
I can do that. I can try to do that.
19 first half points for Victor Wembanyama. And as we mentioned earlier, there's not that many people that can do that flat-footed. Boban is one of them. Third quarter here, Spurs down 9. Barnes lobs it up to Wemby. Perky throws it down again.
I mean, that's what I love, though, the mixture, Malika, playing inside out, and this young man right here, Dylan Harper. Jesus Christ.
Wemby drives, finds Keldon Johnson for the bucket. He had 27 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Hey, Rick Carlisle, what did you think of Wemby in this game?
Look, I'm just glad we only see the guy twice a year. And I'd love to see him in the finals. You know, actually it's gonna be 4 times a year this year because we play him again on Friday, which is great because he presents a different kind of challenge, and this is a great opportunity for our centers to have to navigate a different style of unicorn type player. I mean, that's a fact.
So Victor is just 21 years old, and his growth plates are still open. When he was a rookie, he was listed at a tiny 7'3". A couple years later, he's now listed as 7'5". And we've seen all types of measurements on Victor's true height. But Boban, you've met him. You've stood next to him. How tall are you officially?
I'm officially 7'4".
You're officially 7'4".
7'4", maybe something a little bit, but.
And Wemby, were you looking down at him or looking up at him?
I was like, look like this, and I was like, no way. I know because on the paper I was taller. You saw 7'3". I'm 7'4", and I was looking at him. I was like, no way, I'm taller than him.
That has to have not happened to you very many times in your life, because just to be clear, I'm wearing about 5-inch heels right now. So if we don't have to show the get closer. Here, if we're taking shoes off here, that's the height that we're talking about. There's only a few players where that is the case here, Brian.
So look, he was listed at 7'3" as a rookie, but that was a lie. He was not 7'3". I believe he was actually about 7'5". He's now listed at 7'5". Boban, I think he might be approaching 7'7".
Well, look,
unofficially.
I mean, listen, with the orthotics, you know what I'm saying, the 2 pair of socks, the ankles tape, definitely could get in there, because I'm 6'8", 6'9", but on the floor I was 7'1", because I used to boost myself up.
I was going to say, you were definitely listed at 7 foot. Let's just see one more time what that standing flat foot dunk would look like. And you're doing it on your tippy toes.
He's not even really working that hard.
You're doing it on your tippy toes. Before we rip down this rim here, this is what we're referring to, how he's able to just flat-footed do that.
That's what I do to my sons in the driveway. Lower the basket down, you know what I'm saying, daddy ball. But
Boban was doing something pretty similar.
But seriously, real talk, Boban was just holding onto the rim on his tippy toes. If he is there, Victor can do it flat-footed. Boban's 7'4". That's my point. My point is I think he's about 7'7".
And this rim a little bit higher. No, I
And so we just wanted to show you exactly how difficult that is, or at least fear how many threes they're going to be putting up. So Giannis, he returned to action. He had 13 points. He grabbed 10 rebounds in his preseason debut. And the team continued to showcase their new offensive strategy, shoot a lot of threes. So the Bucks, they made 20 of 48 three-pointers. They had 9 different players attempt multiple threes in their win over the Chicago Bulls. Now the Bucks, they led the league in three-point percentage last season, but their volume was 20th. So even with that low rate, Giannis and his gravity make the Bucks offense go, because over the last 5 seasons, no player has assisted on more threes than Giannis. So is that just a mirage in terms of threes, or is that going to be part of the Bucks' identity this season? Our Tim Legler caught up with Doc Rivers to discuss. Here they are in the Coach's Corner.
We're going to get into the film. We're going to look at a little bit of half-court sets, different options you can get off of basically the same action, the same set. If you want to give us the play call, you can. We'll let this one play all the way through, and then we'll have multiple opportunities to stop it where you want to. But this is just tremendous ability to get the ball from one side of the floor to the other, execute on the screens. A.J. Green comes off, one of your elite shooters, knocking down a shot. So to tell me what you're looking for in this action and your personnel and what the reads are.
I'm a big believer in multiple actions. In our league, the single action guys, the ISO guy, I think that's going away from our league. At least I hope so. All right?
Yeah.
So regular, this is just a pistol. Usually A.J. Green would just come off of a handoff from Scoot, and then Giannis would clean him up in the pick. But on this one, the first thing we actually looked for, you see this back cut? I actually think he could have thrown it. He didn't like the window. But by him doing that, now you see Miles Turner. He's already in help. So that's number one. We've already sowed. But the second part of this running is this pick and roll right here. Stop it. Now, when Giannis rolls, you see Halliburton pointing, that's the weak side help. They think the action's on that side, but the action has always been for A.J. Green, running. And now he can't get back, and Bobby cleans him up.
Now, this is nice. I would have liked to have a set like this run for me, Doc. I'm telling you right now.
Well, you remember when I was with the Clippers, we had J.J. Redick.
Yeah.
And we used to run every first play of the game from J.J. Now,
He was one of the best first quarter players I ever saw.
Of all time.
Yeah.
And I would get players before the game. J.J.'s not scoring the first play, and we would laugh at it. But having two guys that can do that makes your offense. I mean, when A.J. Green and Gary Trent on the floor at the same time, having two elite shooters, it's huge for you.
Well, I can see the excitement in your eyes. You're excited about some of the retooling of the roster. You're excited because Giannis still looks the way he does. Excited to see this action this year. Appreciate the time. Best of luck, and I hope you guys stay healthy.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Tim Legler, for that. We're seeing the Bucks' thought process. Milwaukee started Giannis and Miles Turner against the Bulls on Sunday, to no surprise. But Doc Rivers surrounded them with outside spacers to round out that lineup and make it so they can switch matchups defensively. So this is going to be, we all know this, we've talked about it on the show extensively, this is a pivotal year for the Bucks, and we got a glimpse of how they want to play. I'm going to quote Giannis here when he said, we're going to play fast and we're going to shoot a lot of threes. So, Brian, how do you see this new strategy working out?
With all due respect to everybody.
You knew when he took a deep breath, Perk, where this was going to go.
I wonder what Mike Budenholzer is saying about this, because this is the way Budenholzer used to coach.
Yeah, that 5-out patented
Bucks,
offense.
when they went to the finals, won the finals, and then they were high 50-win teams a few years after that. They were top 5 in three-point attempts. That's the way they played. It's not like it's the first time it's ever been played that way with Giannis. And the thing about it is that they are, they've been in the bottom half the last 2 years under Doc Rivers, okay? Now they're like, okay, we're going to shoot threes again. But they lost Dame Lillard, who was their highest volume three-point shooter, and Brook Lopez left in free agency, who between the two of them, they took 15 threes a game. Now, I know that Miles Turner does shoot threes, but then they replaced, the guys they replaced Lillard with, Cole Anthony, Gary Harris, they're not high-volume three-point shooters. Okay, A.J. Green was one of the best three-point shooters in the league. He shot 5 a game last year. He can probably shoot more this year. But the problem is that they're going back to an old strategy with lesser talent.
Sure.
So I agree with the strategy, but the idea that this is going to unlock the Bucks, I'm not sure I'm on that team. Sorry.
I disagree, Wendy, and I think I know it's going to unlock Giannis Antetokounmpo. We saw the stretch at the last part of last season where he was averaging damn near triple-double every single night. He had 20-plus assists in one of those games. And the difference between how Bud used to have them playing was that Giannis wasn't always the primary ball handler, right? You had a Drew Holiday, you had a Chris Middleton, and they were playing more in the half-court set. Yes, it was a lot of threes, but when you talk about playing fast, now Giannis is pushing the pace. And now you have these guys that are spacers, so you got Giannis attacking downhill in transition, and all of a sudden, what are you going to do? You got to load up, so you space them with shooters, Miles Turner, A.J. Green, Gary Trent Jr., and all of a sudden, that's why he said the combination of playing fast and shooting a lot of threes, we're going to see Giannis as the primary ball handler more so than ever.
Look, anything is possible when you've got Giannis in his prime like they do. And if you were to tell me that they could somehow get back to 48 wins, which is what they did last year,
right,
I would say it's because Giannis had an MVP season. But, they're trying to make the best of the hand that they're dealt. Mm-hmm. I respect it. I just don't buy that they're going to be a comparable team to last year, much less better.
What you're saying is that this isn't new. It's something that's been tried before.
They're going back.
Yep.
Without trying to be too harsh, they're going back to what worked before, but they have lesser talent.
Well, I remember I was covering that Milwaukee Bucks team as a beat writer, and Mike Budenholzer used to literally paint. There were squares on the floor around the outside of the three-point line saying this is where you need to be, and you can watch it. And then Giannis would cut to the middle, again, creating that space with Brook Lopez, one of the best players to be able to stretch the floor in terms of bigs for Giannis. And so they're kind of trying to go back to that a little bit with a slightly different format here, a slightly
maybe
different
AJ
players.
Green shoots 47%
And Miles Turner can hit that.
and it works, and they win 46 games.
But
and I will congratulate them if that
This
happens.
is what we need to watch. Watch the assist numbers go up for Giannis. Again, go look at the last 8 to 9 games of last season. I said, oh, he's unlocking his inner version of
I
Jokic
think
right
that
now.
if you're going to make a bet on a player to win the MVP this year that's not Shea, Giannis is a good bet because I think he's going to play point guard and put those numbers up. My question is that enough?
You don't believe in the others.
Well, I just know
you don't believe it. You don't believe in a Miles Turner that just left the NBA
I
Finals.
just hear a team say, I want to play fast and shoot a lot of threes, and say, I've heard that a lot in October.
Well, you know when we always see a fun version of Giannis? When they play the Indiana Pacers, right? And we haven't gotten to see it yet in the preseason, but they're one of the greatest rivalries in the league. And in case you missed it, Tyrese Halliburton, he's not waiting to play them to add fuel to the fire. This time it's crossing sport lines, too. No stealing game balls or disputes with Pops, but he sported a Cubs jersey on Saturday.
That's next level.
The Brewers' foe. And then he also wore a Shohei Ohtani jersey when the Brewers played the Dodgers last night. So he's committed.
You and Tyrese Halliburton got something in common. You know what? Y'all both petty as his
championship. Hip-hop will be reinstated on November the 8th and other select dates throughout the season. So Mr. Hop has been officially retired since 2011, but he's coming back, baby. And this got us thinking about what other mascots that are retired maybe should get a little refresh. Hip-hop's not the only one. You got Big Shot, definitely in that family tree of other Philly mascots, the Fanatic and Gritty, of course. And then the Cavaliers, Cavs Corner, they have Sir CC, right?
This is Whammer.
Moondog and Whammer.
And let me tell you
of course.
something, no one's asking for Whammer to come back.
Well, the Cleveland Polar Bear rep the Cavs from 95 to 2003, but those sunglasses will never be forgotten. And then Seattle eagerly awaits.
Oh, this is missed.
Supersonics.
Very much.
And Squatch, right? Should come back. The high-flying Sasquatch. He stayed in Seattle when the franchise moved to OKC, but his rivalry with Charles Barkley also will never be forgotten. And this one is a sore subject for me. When OKC moved the Thunder, the Warriors had to retire Thunder due to the overlap in the name. So the Golden State didn't replace him.
Thunder was ripped, Malika.
Yeah, he was. Nothing wrong with some eye candy in your mascots, Brian. It's time now to go coast to coast on some action in the preseason. The Miami Heat, they dropped to 0-5 with a loss to the Hawks last night. Bam Adebayo left the game with a right knee contusion. Of course, they're already without Tyler Hero, who's expected to miss the start of the season. Wendy, should we be worried about Miami?
I'm not worried about them only 0-5, but before Bam got hurt, he was only shooting 29%, already coming off of a little bit of a down year last year. They have gotten some really good play from Khalil Ware. He's been exciting in this preseason. Yes. But if you're a Heat fan, you're looking for better production from your star players.
Yeah, and seeing Bam go out injured, that's a little bit tough. All right, the Knicks, they rested their starters in last night's preseason game against the Wizards, but this Knicks fan was giving his all for this tic-tac-toe. The price was $1,000 that he won, Perk, on that dive. How much for you to go all out?
Look, how much? Shout out to the person who created this game. This is going to be at every family reunion, barbecue, wedding, even workouts.
How much, Perk?
Just give me a hot 500. I would have went all out for that.
You be doing the slip and slide for a hot 500?
For a hot 500.
All right. I mean, I was going to say half that. $100 for me, I'm in there. Mavericks and Jazz last night. And look who started at point guard. The #1 pick, Cooper Flagg. We have been waiting for this. We knew the time is coming, and we got to see a glimpse of it last night. So we're going to pick this up with under a minute left in the first, tied at 27. Flagg working against Walter Clayton Jr. Takes him to the rim, rises for the and one. He has a lot of feel, Brian, for being just 18 years old.
So when the Mavericks want to go to this lineup, they can produce one of the tallest lineups in NBA history. And Flagg has the potential to play this effectively. But when you're a young guard, you are going to have mistakes. Keep that in mind.
Well, he just showed a lot of flashes in this. His two-way ability, we're seeing it there. Under 3 minutes remain. The Mavs up here. A little Klay Thompson driving, passing it to Davis. Hits the three.
AD looked great last night.
Yeah, he really did. Under a minute remains in the second. Mavs up 9. Najee Marshall pushing the floor. Marshall to AD for that dunk. He ended the day with 25 points.
Well, Marshall is going to be huge for them off the bench. But,
really impressive dunk. But a little bit of a scary landing there. He was all right. He finished with 11 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks in 21 minutes. And so when we were at Summer League, I asked Jason Kidd how much the ball is going to be in Cooper Flagg's hands. And he said a lot. Should he be running point guard for this team here, Perk?
You're damn right. I said it on draft night. He is the white version of LeBron James. When you talk about his IQ for the game, he has that. When you talk about his ability to be able to create, defend, do all those things, Cooper Flagg has that package.
Yeah.
Just minus a little bit of athleticism less than LeBron. But when it comes down to him and AD this preseason, I love the two-man game, the action that I've been seeing out of both of those guys. And I wouldn't be surprised come opening night that the ball is going to be in his hands. He's going to be running that point forward position.
You know what? He's better with the ball than LeBron was in his first year in the league. Now, LeBron was a way more talented offensive player, but LeBron played point guard as a rookie and frankly, it was a disaster. It was a disaster. He's leading the league in turnovers. Even he would admit this.
And how many turnovers did Cooper Flagg have last night? Zero.
I mean, look, if you look at what they can play really big in Dallas, and you look at what Houston can do when they might play Thompson at point guard this year, and they can put Jabari Smith at 3. These two teams, they play each other. Talk about bigger in Texas, Perk. You could see nobody on the court under 6'7", 6'8". That's modern NBA basketball.
And when you're looking at the Oklahoma City Thunder and needing to keep pace with their double big lineup, we saw Denver even playing with a double big lineup with Valanciunas on the floor at the same time as Jokic. Like, this is what these elite Western teams are playing with right now. Their lineup, it could be ginormous. And an 82-game regular season is a very different load to play point guard for all 82, right, for Cooper Flagg. But he doesn't look like the youngest player in the NBA right now. It's really, really impressive what we're seeing from him in the preseason, offensively and defensively. Offensively, I don't think we have any concerns. Jason Kidd, he spoke after the game and shared what he thought his defense is going to look like going into the season. Take a listen.
When you look at the depth of our bigs, but in our wings are athletic and can also block shots. I don't think it's rare to block a marketing jump shot. PJ started us off, but I think just our defense was in tune. But yes, I think we could be one of the best shot blocking teams in the league.
Mavs coach Jason Kidd pretty bullish on his squad's defense. Thinks they can lead in blocks per game. Well, if the last few seasons keep trending upward, they may just be able to do that, Perk, with Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, and Cooper Flagg all patrolling the paint.
Not only just leading the NBA in blocks, I think that they're going to be the best defensive team in the NBA. Like, they have all the pieces. And when you have that front line, you have a Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, a Lively, a Gafford, with that athleticism, not just protecting the rim, but the fact that they could get out and slide those puppies on the perimeter, that is a problem.
Well, this is what Nico Harrison's vision was.
Right.
Now, he did not know he was getting Cooper Flagg. Let's be very clear about that.
No one did.
But playing with a gigantic team that was defense first is why he made the trade. Not just making the trade for Luka, but saying, I want Anthony Davis. So, look, his reputation is on the line. This team being this kind of a defensive stalwart.
Yeah, it's a huge gamble, obviously, that Nico Harrison took in making that trade with Luka Doncic. And for it to be considered successful, it can't just be a good team making the playoffs. It has to be a great, apparently ginormous team storming through, particularly on the defensive end. But what we're seeing now, and it's only the preseason, we keep having to sprinkle that in, it is certainly what Nico Harrison's vision it was when he made this deal. We still got the NBA season, and I'm excited. But I have a question for both of you. Do you happen to know, and do you all happen to know, on March 30th, 2016, where you two were?
No.
You know?
I was somewhere in the league.
You were in the league. Actually, y'all were facing off. It's the only time that you two played each other in the NBA in the regular season.
Oh.
And we have the video.
Oh, hey, Nelson.
These aren't to scale, I don't think. So we thought we would see what happens
what's
here
going on?
in this play, Perk. You're first. Get the ball on the block. What happens next?
It's not a spin slam.
Okay. Is it a Perk dime?
For sure, I wasn't dunking at this time. I think it's a Perk dime.
Was it a Perk dime
dropping
right
off
here?
An assist right here.
You think Perk's going to drop off an assist? Let's roll the tape and see what happens. Oh.
I told you what was going to happen. I want to say that. I told you before I told it Douglas. Yeah.
You saw him and you said, nah, I'm not.
Set up from the jump.
All right, Boban, you're next. You two, you get the ball on the block.
Okay.
Let's roll the clip and see what happens.
Oh,
all right.
Look at that position. You said that's how you win.
Get that low
when you're in the stands. That's when you know you're ready to defend.
All right, so you got Perk on you. What do you do,
I
Boban?
watch him how he's standing in the stands,
Yep.
and I say, let's go try to score.
Oh, you're going to take on Perk.
Be like Boban.
Okay, be like
That's what I
Boban.
want, by the way.
Oh, another dime.
You decided, you saw Perk and you said, nope, that menace, I'm going to...
Okay.
Perk, staying after him.
Okay.
Then
Oh.
I just had to hold my ground.
You
know what
stayed
I mean?
with it, Perk.
There's a reason Cole said what he said, Malika.
Yeah, that was a heck of a stand.
All right, that was 2016. It feels worlds away. That was fun, guys. Thanks for playing along. But this is what the MVP voting
Hey,
breakdown
good job.
was. This was 2016, guys. So this was when we saw the first, and to this point only unanimous, NBA MVP in Steph Curry. The rest of the top 10 were filled with guards, right? You weren't in there, Perk. I don't know why. But then fast forward, and there's been a big man renaissance, and it will be televised. Look how many good bigs have good odds to win MVP. Now, a name that I know for me jumps out pretty immediately, Joel Embiid. Only played 19 games last season, and he has the 5th best odds. But just 2 years ago, he had more points than minutes played, and he could be gearing up, Brian, for a little action sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, now we knew that Joel was working out.
Yep.
We knew he was practicing, but with Joel, you really can't assume anything. And then earlier this week, I guess it was over the weekend, he just showed up at their scrimmage.
Yeah, the blue
And
white.
every team has a scrimmage that they open to the fans, and this is what they did. And here Joel was. Now, this has been going on behind the scenes, but you know, the Sixers have been very cautious not to get out ahead of everything, as you can imagine why. And Joel looked good in this scrimmage, but I think it's more important he was playing more than I'm going to sit here and analyze how he looked. So Friday is their last preseason game. It's at home. I assume he's going to try to go in that, and if there's no setbacks, I assume he might be out there for opening night. Now, the idea that he could come back before Paul George was not something I expected.
No.
But, and I think you got to be careful not to make any assumptions with Joel, but I think the Sixers could have Joel Embiid, could have him at the beginning of the season next week.
And that is something that would be huge here for Philadelphia, Perk. We weren't necessarily expecting him to see him in the regular season, and now all of a sudden, or in the preseason rather, and now all of a sudden he has a chance. We could be seeing him as soon as the end of this week. But what I think that full screen showed, where we're talking about Joel because he has the 5th shortest odds, is that there has been this renaissance of big men in the NBA here, Boban. How do you view that?
I view that like they come back, everybody play great. I've talked about Joel. Joel, it's like a beast. I play with him in Philadelphia, and when he wants to score on low post, he scores. This is like amazing. They have a lot of players right now coming. How you say? I watch. And Denver the other day too, when Valanciunas and Jokic played together, when Adams and Şengün played together. And for me, I like it because I'm tall guy, big guy, and I want.
Don't retire, Boban. Don't retire.
And I want to.
To the right spot, and Hachimura did just that in transition.
Back to Irving. From down in the low post, it goes. Irving's got his first points of the night.
I mean, if the defender is going to play off like that, then you know what's going to happen. There are going to be points put on the board.
James looking it over. It's deflected. Stripped it away. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And so confident. Even amongst the trees, Doncic is fantastic at forcing the issue close to the rim.
This is his 3rd trip to the free throw line in the game. First free throw is good. And Los Angeles with some changes. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for DeAndre. Vanderbilt comes in for James. And James subbed in for Vincent. Free throw is good from Doncic. Mavericks have gone 6 of 13 so far from the field here in the second quarter. Thompson outside. Back to Irving. Six on the shot clock. It's tipped. And here is James. No scoring in this one. Doncic feeling it out. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. One shot. And the technical free throw is good. James against Irving. Vanderbilt, a screen on Irving to the paint. Stolen by Washington. Oh, and here we go. Irving's got it. The fast break chance.
First personal foul. 13th foul.
Here's Thompson. He's got 5. Thompson from way outside.
What poise from Thompson. Not allowing for any distractions from his shot.
Top of the key, Hachimura.
That's his first personal. 13th foul.
Outside, James. 5 to shoot. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. Vanderbilt. And again, no good by the Lakers. And here's Marshall bring it up for the Mavericks. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. James against Irving. Pass to Lively. On the wing, Thompson. He's got 8. Hachimura grabs the miss.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Nice shot by James.
It's harder to thread those passes inside, but the reward is evident.
Dallas has gotten cold from deep in the second quarter. Just 2 of 6 from long range. 3, Marshall, and it's Luka with the rebound. The Lakers trail. Hachimura with it, picked up by Thompson. Here's James, and it goes down 2 points.
And the instincts there from Hachimura. Notice the overcommitment by the defense and then makes the right pass.
Here's Irving on the money from 12 feet away.
And you see the ability to rise and fire from mid-range, even against that length.
Hey, when you trust your shot like he does, it doesn't matter how much size you're giving up. He feels the mid-range in his territory.
Here's Hachimura, following the basket by Kyrie Irving. Over Marshall, and he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Mavericks shooting pretty good tonight at 48%. And out of bounds as the Lakers gain possession. Let's take a second look at that fantastic block.
And that is a huge block. Given how close this game is, a stop like that was right on point.
There's 31 seconds left in the first half. Up top, Hachimura.